We're going live, guys. Going live.
Oh. This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports. Good evening.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. There's going to be a lot of stuff we got to get in an hour. But let's start it off with one of your favorite players.
Who was that?
Odell Beckham Jr. is going to the Ravens.
Absolutely. I was so happy to see it happen.
I see the smile on your face.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the Ravens this year. I think he had a whole full year to get his knee where he needs to get it, and he gonna bring some excitement to the city. And I guarantee you, once they print off his jerseys, he's gonna be the number one selling jersey in Baltimore.
I don't think so. If Lamar Jackson's there, he would have the number one selling jersey.
But I do think he's gonna bring excitement to the team.
You think he's a number one receiver?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's
He's in the top. He's in the top 10.
2 ACL tears.
He's in the top 10.
You saw what happened with Michael Gallup when he came back last year.
But Michael Gallup is not Odell Beckham, and I just think too, the way knee surgery is going this day and time, I think these doctors are doing a lot better on getting.
Michael Gallup had his. So you're saying 2 years ago? Now they done a better job.
No. I'm just saying that it's certain degrees of knee injuries. So Michael Gallup I don't know how. I had to check his heart. He came back and he was pretty soft.
He couldn't walk, Ollie. I mean,
maybe he came back too. Maybe he came back too soon. What I'm saying, Odell Beckham ended up sitting out the whole year.
Yes, he did. But
so I'm thinking time is a factor. Michael might have been maybe 2 or 3 more weeks needed before he went to training camp or whatever. But he came back a little bit quicker.
But Michael was a tremendous player before he got injured.
No doubt. Michael.
Now there's rumors that they might bring Cedric Wilson back if Miami cuts him.
Why should Miami cut him?
Because they got all those receivers. They got too many receivers right now.
But they paid him pretty good money to get him over there. So I think he would fit their repertoire.
And they brought in another receiver. I'm gonna have to look it up, but they just brought in another receiver too.
Yeah. So, in the next, I guess it's 14 days before the draft, 15 days. It's on the 27th, I guess, 28th. And there's a lot of teams going to be making a lot of moves between now and next 2 weeks.
I would agree. There was some moves now made besides OBJ. Obviously, Detroit traded the DB they picked in the 3rd round when Matt Patricia was coaches. They traded him to Atlanta. He's from TCU too.
Yeah.
Is it Jeffrey Okam?
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Okam. I think that's who it is.
Yeah, so they traded him to Detroit for a 5th round pick to get a guy 3rd in the draft and trade him. That was a bad pick then.
Well, that's why I said sometimes, players are overrated. Of course, you're gonna miss and hit every now and then on some of these players, but most of the time they really pretty precise on the skill set of the players.
But let me ask you this: when you say that, Eli Apple, he struggled in New York, but he played pretty good for Cincinnati. He struggled in New Orleans, but his 3rd team, he played better. He is a real kid.
that sometimes that goes to show you too that sometimes it's the location of it and the chemistry and the style of defense, offense that you put a player in.
That is true. And now also with the Giants, Saquon Barkley goes to Arizona to work out with Daniel Jones and the rest of the offensive players. But then when they have voluntary workouts, he doesn't show up because obviously he can't because he didn't sign his tag yet, his transition, or is it a franchise tag?
Yeah, and you don't want to go work out in those type of settings and get hurt.
Yeah.
It's one of those timetable to where you don't want to do too much, but you want to make sure that he probably can go there and get the mental reps in, as well as getting a chance to meet the players and get the chemistry in and making sure that he stays up to date on everything.
They might have some difficulties getting Saquon back in the fold. They might have.
Yeah, they said that he really don't want to sign the franchise tag. That's what we was hearing. And if that's the case, then they might need to start calling his agent and maybe just start negotiating.
Well, here's the problem: is if he signs the franchise tag, I think it's like $10.1 million. And
I think it should be maybe I would. Usually the franchise tag for running back should be around 12.
I don't think it's very much. It might be 12.
Yeah,
but it's not as much. So he might be thinking that he's not.
Well, I think somebody had a franchise tag between 12 and 15 million for running backs.
Mm-hmm.
So
the running backs are being devalued. It's going to be interesting because there's a lot of free agent running backs on the market right now, and some good ones. Austin Eckler from the Chargers. They're saying that Dalvin Cook might be on there, and you got Fournette on there, Leonard Fournette. You got Zeke Elliott. I mean, there's quite a few, and there's quite a few that could play still.
Yeah, no doubt. I just think, and plus all those guys you just named are veterans and seasoned guys, and I just think they just got to go to the right team.
Yes,
and it's all about getting in with the right coordinators and making sure that every one of those running backs that you call out, most of them can catch out the backfield too. Mm-hmm. So most of them are two-tier type players.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting because it seems like at a certain age, the running backs are getting kind of phased out. They use them for a couple of years, beat them up, and then put them on the track. A lot of them are not making it to a second contract, which is
I guess that's why you want to do 2 years, 3 years at the most.
You remember in the first contract, you can only, if you're a late round draft choice, you can do 4 years. But if you're in a high pick, you only get 4 in an option.
Yeah.
Remember that correctly.
Yeah.
So that's to a deterrent for a running back whose career is shorter.
Yeah, because if you go 28 to 30 years old, not too many people want to, they looking this way.
Yeah. And then there's Mark Ingram out there too, and he's 33.
Yep.
He's still playing. Yeah.
Exactly. And so sometimes they pick a lot of those players up in mid-season when the injuries and stuff stack up. And you see that happen more and more now this day and time.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see what happens. Not a lot of Cowboy news this week.
What's Cowboy news? Y'all supposed to make the news every week?
We're supposed to, we're the premier team.
I'm so sick and tired of these damn Cowboy fans around here running around these.
Friends call from Arkansas. And they're Cowboy. Even your grandkids are Cowboys fans.
They live up there.
Are your grandkids Cowboys fans?
Their daddy's a Cowboy fan. He's a University of Michigan fan, and he's a Cowboy fan. He grew up in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'm teaching the boys the real true meaning of football.
So you're teaching them to be a Cowboy fan, the real true meaning. So yeah, I appreciate that.
I got some football magazines over here.
You almost slipped. You said I got some Cowboy magazines. You almost slipped.
I got some football magazine. About football
with the Cowboys on the front of them. So don't be ashamed.
I do have Tom Landry book.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I have Tom Landry's book too.
I looked at it the other day. I'm packing up something. I do have his book.
Yeah.
Because what he used to do.
I have Bill Parcells' biography.
Yeah, I read out through Bill Parcells stuff the other day. I was looking at some book. Read. So you have to sometimes remind yourself of what gentlemen's like those great coaches come from. So when you go and share, I might go do a football camp this weekend. So you go and share some stories to these guys. They don't do their homework.
Yeah.
See, guys like me, you got to do your homework.
Yeah, you do.
So Vince Lombardi, those type of coaches, just go and take a peek in their books.
A lot of those great coaches at one time or another were involved with the Cowboys, except Jimmy Johnson. He never.
Well, I even picked up a book the other day with Bud Grant in it. So I mean, you're right. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right.
I showed you that thing with the winning percentages in the Super Bowl era.
Yeah,
I know you still win it, but it's kind of interesting to that the Cowboys are first, obviously, and they've won 5 Super Bowls. But the Minnesota Vikings being second, that kind of blew my mind because the question that was asked was, would you
No, the second place was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah.
But the question
Mm-hmm.
But my question is would you rather be a team that's a 11, 12 win team every year or win Super Bowls?
No doubt.
You're not good for 10 years.
Super Bowl every 10 years?
Yeah.
It's nothing like going to the Super Bowl. So if you think about the Super Bowl, you have to get the Super Bowl because you kind of gonna be like the Cowboy fan right now. They shooting in the parking lot last year.
You talk about that, but the Giants actually had a longer streak than the Cowboys.
But what I'm saying though, Jim, what is the last time I won the Super Bowl? 93, right?
No, 95.
No, it's not 94.
Yeah, they lost it. They beat Pittsburgh.
94.
It was the 95. Was the last time.
Okay, well, that's long. That's longer than the Giants.
Yeah, but no, if you look at it, the Giants had a longer streak of not winning a Super Bowl than the Cowboys.
I don't know about that. We went to Super Bowl 2007.
The Super Bowl in the Super Bowl era, the Giants had a longer streak because you remember the Giants were really bad until Parcells got there.
I understand that. Yeah, you're right.
They were just an afterthought. They even let Herm Edwards, the first one, all he had to do was kneel down. It was Pisarcik. Joe, I grew up there. I know. Herm Edwards. Are you kidding me?
I know.
That got the Philadelphia Eagles. They were going to lose the game.
Oh yeah, the game was won.
Yeah. And Joe Pisarcik. Are you serious?
I can't even stand that play.
That will live in infamy. That's as bad as what's the quarterback for the Jets with the butt fumble? Mark, he's on TV now.
Oh, Mark. Oh, from USC.
Yeah.
Mark, I forgot his name.
Yeah, but
it's crazy that
and that's like Hans Romo. All he had to do was hold the ball. They kicked the field goal. They win the game.
Tony Romo.
Yeah. This I was reading an article.
Well, every now and then, you get some brain farts.
Yeah,
Plays.
that is true. That is true.
brain fart plays, I guess.
I guess so. But that is true. You do have plays that you regret. Everybody does if you play.
Yeah.
You say, why did I do that? And things like that. Shoot, one game I lined up 3 times. Well, I really lined up 4 times. They only called me 3 times.
Offsides?
Yes.
Well, something wrong with one of your eyes or what?
I think I had allergies and my eyes were all messed up. Who knows? But I lined up.
I know what happened. Offensive line, you probably played the Giants and you cross-eyed, looking like cross-eyed.
Not against the Giants.
You lined up. You think that you lined up on side, but you offside.
Not against the Giants.
Yeah, right.
Because I owned the little Giants.
Yeah, sometimes you do have some hiccups out there on the football field.
Yeah, you do. If you play, you're gonna have hiccups. It's just a part of the game. You just hope it is not on a consistent basis because you won't be around long.
Yeah.
Everybody, but then some players you always have hiccups. Barry Sanders, nobody wanted to play Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders makes it look so bad. He had instincts like in and out of his head, man. It's just amazing some of the moves that he would do. And I had signed with him in '90, and in my locker right next to Barry Sanders, and he would just do simple lifts. He'll do like over the shoulder lift, and he had the strong shoulders. Yeah. And them legs was just huge. Mario Robert Newhouse legs back in the day. And just power, compact. And he got it. It's like he got eyes all around his head. And he could just make some moves crazy moves.
And you knew you played in the NFL because every player that's ever played in the NFL is on his highlight film because he abandoned nobody. He didn't embarrass. He's like, oh man.
His highlight tape was just. He made some guys look bad.
Yeah, I have never seen a running back like him to this day. And
not. And he left on it. If he would have came back and played another year, ain't no telling what would have happened.
Yeah.
I guess he just got burnt out. I don't know.
You always wanted to trap him because you didn't want to be there by yourself because you knew it was you couldn't win. You couldn't just tackle. Nobody single tackled him.
No.
You just trapped him and then get him down on the ground. A bunch of y'all jump on him. Like you said, he was extremely strong.
When we played Chicago, and it was Chicago running back was awesome as well.
Yeah, Walter Payton.
Walter Payton was awesome, I'm telling you. And then, they talk about, Walter would run over you. He said he was going out of bounds. The next thing he'll run over you.
Yeah, and he was a heck of a blocker.
Yeah.
He ran that split back, meaning 2 backs. Matt Shuey was the full back.
Yeah.
And when Walter cut you, he tried to hurt you.
No, he tried to hurt you. He tried to
hurt you and laugh about it. He'd laugh about it as he did it. So.
Yeah. So I got a chance to see some real good running backs.
Yeah, we've been blessed to see some great players.
Yeah, some real good running backs.
Every position.
Every
position,
Yeah, and what about your boy Aaron Rodgers? They gonna get ready to sign him or what? What you think?
David Bakhtiari, who is the offensive left tackle for Green Bay, said it's a given that Aaron Rodgers will be a Jet. And then the general manager for the
Mark
Murphy, who played for the Redskins as a kicker, he said that they're working through it now. I think it's going to be either during the draft or on the eve of the draft. They're going to trade him.
Well, maybe that's what they're waiting for, the special time and to highlight it.
Yeah, here's the problem you run into. I would, and we've argued this on the Sunday show, I wouldn't give up a first-round pick for Rodgers because you don't know how long he's going to be there. But if he gets you to the playoffs, maybe a conditional one next year. The condition is he's got to get you into the playoffs.
Well, I can say this: Aaron Rodgers and is he work out? He don't. I don't think his body goes into no type of funk or anything. I think he's still on top of his health. So I think he got at least 4 or 5 more years.
But here's the problem you run into: you never know because he's one of those guys that might walk in the next day and say, I got enough. And that's it. And I'm not saying that's bad, but you might have him for 1 year, you might have him for 5 years.
But I think he kind of still want to go after Tom Brady, some of Tom Brady stuff. I think he gonna, I think that's what he's on task to do.
But here's also an issue: is he's only won 1 Super Bowl. He's only won 1 Super Bowl. He's won, 4 MVPs, but he's only won 1 Super Bowl.
And you think going to the Jets, you think their team good enough to go?
That's my point. I don't know if they're good enough right now to go. That is a point.
Yeah.
It'll be remaining to see. But we got a lot of things. We don't have a lot of time. Right now is the game that's on in the playing game is the Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls. And right now, it's 58-47 Raptors. Siaka, the player for the Raptors, played here in Dallas. Did you know that? He played in the AAU. He played at God's Academy.
Some like guys that played here in Dallas usually go and do well. They here.
And he's playing against DeMar Rosen, who's a good player too.
Oh, DeMar Rosen, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the player that is one and done, basically.
So Chicago playing the Raptors.
Yeah, they're playing them now.
And then
OKC
are playing New Orleans later on tonight.
Yeah, I think the Thunder gonna win.
Think the Thunder gonna win?
Yeah, I think the Thunder is gonna win.
I like the way the Thunder's playing.
Yeah, they're getting better. They're
playing team basketball.
Yeah, now think about this. They lost their number 1 pick. He was out for the year. The kid from Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And they're still, having the opportunity to make it in the playoffs.
Right.
But the thing I'm seeing with the great players these days is they don't play any defense. They're not playing any defense. I was just looking at the game with Chicago and the Raptors. Actually, the Raptors play better defense than the Chicago, but Zach LaVine wasn't covering anybody.
Yeah.
DeMar Rosen wasn't covering anybody. They had Beverly in there. And Beverly, all he want to do is fight you.
He should play football. He's a defensive back.
He really is. Patrick Beverly is a defensive back.
Yeah.
So
He always trying to fight.
Always trying to fight. He's always trying to fight and everything instead of just play. I mean, he was really trying to beat up Siakam. And he just looked at him, smiled, and shot right over him.
The one thing I see in basketball, NBA basketball, it is becoming more physical.
Yeah. But it was more physical in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And it was more physical in the early 80s with Magic, Bird. Then Detroit took over, and they made it really physical.
They don't knock you out.
They became brutal.
They played football, basketball.
Yeah, they did because they had the Bruce brothers.
Yeah.
And God, what's his name? The other guy.
Mahomes.
And Lambeer.
Lambeer. Yeah.
Yeah, those two would try to beat you up.
Lambeer, man, you didn't come in that. He didn't come in that paint.
Ooh, no, because you gonna get clothesline. You were close. They ended a lot of guys' days.
That's why I said if a lot of people would just look at those 80s tapes, highlight tapes, they appreciate where the games come from.
Yeah, because that was brutal. I mean, you couldn't even make a layup. You couldn't even make a layup. But you know who really plays like that?
Who?
I don't is Memphis. But Memphis lost their center. Adams, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
Adams is out. And Dylan Brooks, shoot, he might be play away from getting his final tech, and he might be out a couple games.
Yeah.
They play the Lakers. The Lakers beat the Lakers. They beat Minnesota.
Yeah, last night. And they led the whole way, the whole game.
Yeah. They were up by 9 in the fourth quarter. Lakers would have won it in regulation time, but Anthony Davis. Conley went up for the shot and he missed it. Davis bumped him and they called the 3-point foul, and that's how he got the overtime.
And Conley hit the 3-point, hit the free throws.
He had all free throws.
Conley, 35 years old. Conley, 35 years old, and he hit those free throws.
My son played against Conley, my oldest son.
University of Arkansas?
But he was when they were all in the AAU.
Okay.
Played for this team called the Arkansas Hawks.
Yeah.
And then, his father was gold medalist with the long jump.
Yeah. He sure was he was All-American.
Yeah.
He could long jump. He triple jump, long jump.
Yeah, LeBron had 30. But here's the amazing thing. Jordan retired at 38. LeBron's still scoring 30 points at 38, and people say he ain't that good. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but it's a different type of game what Jordan played than what LeBron is playing.
I would agree, but LeBron.
And I never saw Jordan sitting out no games.
That's true. But
LeBron he'll sit out 6 games, 2 games. Jordan didn't sit out no games.
No, but also LeBron is a bigger player than Jordan was. LeBron is a mixture of players. He's a mixture of Magic Johnson.
He's a hybrid. He's a tight end.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. He has some unique skills. He's not a scorer like Kobe or Michael Jordan. But to his credit, Michael Jordan was Defensive Player of the Year. People forget that.
He played defense. I'm telling you. When he was competitive too. He'll put something in your ear and tell you, "Hey, I'm gonna defense you tonight."
Yeah, and they had some great players in that era. But I think LeBron is a great player. Good evening, Craig. How are you today?
What's up, Craig?
Good evening. But there's certain things that LeBron does better. I think LeBron's a better passer than Jordan was.
Yeah, LeBron, he really worked his game. I mean, he really has done well. No, it's just hate that they got to compare him with Michael Jordan. I think everybody got their own little specialty that
Michael Jordan is the greatest player that ever played. You see what they sold his shoes that he wore? $2.5 million.
Yeah. He only won one time.
Yep. And they sold for $200. What are you gonna do with a pair of sneakers?
I don't know.
You're gonna put them in a case and they're just gonna be there. At some point they're gonna deteriorate, right?
They are, they definitely gonna deteriorate.
I'm just wondering. These are questions.
Well, that's somebody want to help out charity. So
you think so? I think it was an auction.
Yeah, it's some type of auction. Yeah.
So I don't know, but they play, like I said, the Timberwolves. I'm not Timberwolves. They play Memphis, the Grizzlies. So they got to deal with Ja Morant and Dillon. And they got Jackson, who's getting better. Jaren Jackson. So
That's another thing with basketball too. You got all these different leagues now. You got the D League, the E League.
I know.
You got the 3-on-3 basketball now. So it's a lot of basketball than ever before.
Yeah, there's a good thing. Abdul Salam, I think, not Salam. He was Chris Jackson at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
There is a documentary on him on Showtime. It's really good. If you ever get a chance, look at that.
Okay. Yeah.
Raul, I think, is Madhu Raul.
Okay.
He changes, but it's really a good one about it because he's in his 50s and he's playing in that 3-on-3 league.
Yeah. Yeah, that 3-on-3 league is really because they ain't got to run that far,
Yeah. Now the other game you talked about it before, the Oklahoma Thunder play the Pelicans. Obviously, Zion Williamson is not going to be back. And my thing about Zion Williamson is he's always going to struggle because of size. He may be too big.
That's what you think?
Yeah, and everybody says, well, Shaq was a 300-pounder. Yes, but Shaq was 7'1"?
Yeah.
Zion is what, 6'6", 6'7"?
Something like that.
And he's almost 300 pounds.
He's a big boy.
So that takes a pounding on you running up and down the court. And it's not about that. It's about health and can he stay healthy?
That's what it's about. And he's been hurt every year.
Yeah, he's been hurt. So that's going to be interesting. I would pick the Thunder to win that game.
You pick the Thunder?
Yeah.
But the New Orleans Pelicans, so they've been playing pretty good. They
got a couple of players on their team.
Yeah.
Other than him. But I just think that he would be the one that can get him over the top.
Yeah, they need him. They really need him.
Yeah.
Because it'd be hard to defend them if he was out there on the court, for sure.
That would help Bill and McCollum, too.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
And the other game is the Atlanta Hawks beat
Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat, and nobody expected that.
No. And they beat Miami Heat in Miami.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Yeah.
But, I like Coach Signet. His name is Signer or Signet.
Yeah.
He's been Utah.
Yeah.
His name Van. But he brings it. He can coach. I think too. You got to start looking at the coaches when you start talking about some of these teams.
Yeah. There's going to be some new coaches because already Houston is going to have a new coach, and there was somebody else that let their coach go. But you're right. Yeah, he was there. He played for. Didn't he play for the Duke?
Yeah, I think he was a Duke. Yeah, Blue Devil.
Yeah, so you're right on that. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. But here's what I'm finding out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. First of all, my big thing is how many French players do you know that were really successful in the NBA?
How many bench players?
French.
There's not that many.
I could name Tony Parker.
Yep.
Gobert to a certain extent.
Yeah.
There was one more. I keep forgetting his name. They're saying the number one pick in the whole draft is going to be a guy from France.
What?
And his name begins with a V. I can't even say his name. But he's tall. He's 7'4", but he's skinny, and he's not a post player. He's a perimeter player.
Well, that Ruben Gobert, he's a French guy.
Yeah.
But did you see him punch his teammate? That's crazy.
Yeah, but that wasn't the only fight. The Clippers were fighting too.
Yeah.
But I saw that. But Gobert, to me, is he's his character. So
yeah, no doubt. Tony Parker is in the top 5.
Yeah, there's one more. So,
Yeah.
but,
Even Fortier,
that's
the
it.
New York
Yeah.
Knicks.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, Evans.
It was those three, but there's not a lot of French players there.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of French players that have excelled in the NBA.
right.
Now there's a lot of Spanish from Spain.
Yeah,
There's been quite a few, and then you had Ginobili from Argentina. So you had some of those.
Kobe Bryant played over in Europe, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in Italy.
Italy.
Because his father, Jelly Bean, was there. And so
Jelly Bean, his dad named Jelly Bean?
Yeah, Jelly Bean Bryant.
Okay.
And then Luca played in Italy before. He started it when he was 14 or 15, playing pro basketball in Italy.
Lucas said he just an offensive player. He ain't no defense player.
He did say that. And Kyrie's the same way, though. How are they going to win a championship with two guys that don't cover anybody?
Well, the other three better be playing some defense.
Yeah, but you got to have – I mean, they can't – three people can't cover five.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that is so true.
Yeah, the game is just like football. It's changed.
It's changing. You got are they going to make any kind of rules? I mean, they letting them play, though. I mean,
yeah, they are. They are, and I agree with you. It's getting more physical.
Well, one of the things that we talked about this year with the NFL Players Association is that there will be more players, former players, being referees.
Yes. Matter of fact, one former Cowboy, his name is Keith Jones, is a referee.
Yeah. You're going to see more former NFL players refereeing the NFL.
But is that good or bad?
I think it's going to be overall going to be good, but it could be bad if you probably don't need to let the referees ref the teams that they play for.
Oh, no question. And he hasn't refed them because he used to coach he used to be a ref in college, but I'm sure
with the eye in the sky now, they got cameras everywhere. I think it's hard to make mistakes. So I think the game will be better. I think the game will be more and more. I think you feel more comfortable with the players and coaches can.
Yeah, but you still got the same issues. They can't see everything. They can't.
But the players can talk to the ref a little bit more intensified to where I can have a conversation with them about some little things.
Yeah.
And one of the things referees out there for your safety, they making sure that you if you're concussed that you can get off the field. I mean, I guess
say if it's now they won't review roughing the quarterback and things like that. And last year it bothered me from being a D lineman. You sack a quarterback, that's a sack. But now you can get a roughing the quarterback on a sack. And
I think that's sad. I really do. I think the rules have gone sour already, and they just making it even worse.
Yeah. Now I understand when a receiver's coming over the middle, you can't launch yourself out. That's a good rule. I don't have a problem with that in some of the rules, but I think they go too far. They seem to emphasize certain rules every year. One rule. It might be pass interference. It might be offensive pass interference.
Yep.
It might be holding. It might be defensive or offensive holding. Things like that. But they emphasize it and they don't look at the other things that are going on.
Well, one of the things that they didn't want to happen was the hip tackle that you put him, the players down.
But they didn't take that out.
They're not gonna lie it though.
Yeah.
They were going. That was one of the ones that they looked at real hard, but due to the fact that it was some running backs getting hurt, it's mostly targeting running backs / tackling the linebacker tackling running backs.
Did you know that if you had dreadlocks, which we don't have to worry about, but if you had dreadlocks, you could tackle somebody on their hair
Yeah, I was gonna give me some glued in and see if I get tackled by my dreadlock, could they pull me down? Or would the glue just fall apart? I don't know. So I was just trying to see.
The glue would fall apart.
Yeah, I was trying to see if the glue gonna hold and see if my scalp or something, come off.
Yeah, Craig, what do you think about that? What do you think? Would you have tackled somebody by their hair?
Craig probably didn't. He probably played flag football.
Nah, Craig was a baller.
Craig done went to sleep.
Yeah. But no, the rules have changed, and some of them are really good. Some of them are questionable.
Yeah.
And speaking about the NFL, we haven't talked about this. What's going on with the Cardinals? Michael Bidwell.
Michael Bidwell, he's been this.
Oh, Craig's driving.
Oh, he's driving. Yeah. Well, Michael Bidwell, he done some things and then probably caught up with it.
Yeah, because that is crazy what they're saying. He had burner phones. Michael was making deals.
That's what the mafia do and the drug dealers.
That's what I'm saying. 50 Cent gonna make a show about him. He had burner phones to talk to the GM at that time, Kim, and Kim was directing the head coach what he wanted done. And one of the former executives kept his burner phone.
Well, I think that's just another good example that these owners can go forever young, exercising their rights, meaning that they can break all the rules.
They do, they really do, because it's crazy.
You got 32 owners. Well, Green Bay don't have owner, but they don't pay no taxes.
That's right. Well, no, they changed that rule.
When did they change
it? They changed it a couple of years ago.
Well, I didn't know that. I know that they was nonprofits. So,
but Daniel Snyder, they're saying that he might not sell the team because he wants more money because Jeff Bezos said he's not going to bid on the Commanders.
Are you not?
I think Bezos waiting for the Seahawks to go up for sale.
Yeah.
And then and they said, but they offered him $6 billion.
6 B's.
$6 billion for it.
Wow.
He bought it for I think $580 million. And they offered him $6 billion.
That's a hell of a return on your money.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But you think about the NFL is a cash cow.
It is.
Make so much money on it because it's a popular sport. Speaking of that, you see the cost for YouTube to get Sunday ticket?
Yeah, it's going up to about $400 probably, ain't it?
Yeah, it's $449 if you don't have obviously the YouTube package. If you do, and you order it before June 6th, it's $249. But if you don't, it's going to be $349.
$349 for the NFL package.
For the NFL package, and they're going to have multi-screens. And it's all going to be obviously on the internet. This will be interesting. I've never used YouTube TV, so I don't know.
Well, we probably been getting discount with the NFL Network. If you're a former player, yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Do you think we'll get one with the YouTube?
They hadn't talked about YouTube, but we need to figure that out this year.
Yeah. And then on Twitter, all the NFL players that were on Twitter, present and former, had that blue check mark. That goes away on April 20th because it's called the legacy.
What?
Yeah. And people are starting to move away from Twitter already. So Elon Musk has made a mistake.
Yeah. It's all about timing,
It really is. But that's a question. I know that you do a lot of things. Would you pay to be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok?
Pay?
Yeah. And then I think it's like $8.99.
I'll probably pay to be on Facebook.
You would?
Instagram.
Wow. Interesting. Well, you might be paying, so get ready.
Hey, I got to find me a sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, my next thing, have you been watching baseball? What's going on in baseball?
Somewhat. I know the Rangers are playing okay.
Yeah, they're in first place. They're in
I always
first
keep
place.
up with the
They're
Yankees.
losing 4-1 to KC.
Devil Rays are undefeated.
Yeah, they are. They're 11-0. The Tampa Bay Rays are 11-0.
Yeah, the Tampa Rays. That's right. They're the Tampa Rays.
The Yankees are 8-4, and the Toronto Blue Jays they're 7-4. And like we just talked, the Rangers are one game up against Los Angeles. Los Angeles is 7-5.
Yeah, the Angels.
Yeah,
but you know, Houston gonna be coming back on that in that division.
Yeah, because they're 6-7, so
Yeah.
they're definitely gonna be coming back. So the Rangers are actually playing well. If they can stay healthy, they can at least go there. Oh shoot, there, Craig.
What do you say?
Talk about man, Freaknik tapes. Hulu's doing a series on the Freaknik in Atlanta. It was just basically a big party. I think it was during spring break, right, Craig? So they don't have any film that kind of. They have some tapes, Craig, but it wasn't like today. So you can. Hey,
back in the day, you couldn't go in the locker room. You couldn't go in the locker room, and you still players conversation stuff. You could today you can do everything.
Yeah. So I think we're safe, Craig. We're far enough out.
Yeah.
But that is the concern for some people. It can be like,
but they do need to grandfather us in on some money.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
They give these big TV deals. They need to put a portion of that money over there on the retired side.
That's right. And these deals are getting bigger and bigger for television.
TV done changed the rules in the game. I'm telling you.
They really have. And it's come global.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Hulu's doing the thing. It's not on the players. It's on the thing that happened in Atlanta, Freaknik. That used to be that big party. So, and it was pretty wild. I just heard about it. I'd never been there, but
you never been there? I think you hosted the party, Jim.
No. That was probably Andre Rison or Deion Sanders.
Yeah, you know them. Yeah, Andre Rison was always in the mix.
Yeah. So that's his girlfriend burnt his house down, mad at him.
Yeah. Left eye. Was it left eye or right eye?
Left eye.
Yeah, she burnt the house down.
She burnt his.
Hey. I sent a message out to all the receivers that we can say, don't have a girlfriend with no left eye. You better get you one with the right eye.
That's cold.
She burned his house down.
Ooh, she burned it down. Andre Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah. It been some characters out there in the football
field. My goodness, there was some Icky Woods. He was a character now. We're doing the Icky Shuffle.
Yeah.
There was some characters in the NFL. Yeah. And some of them just talk to be talking.
Oh man. Just talk.
Yeah.
Yep. So
on both sides. One you talked about, Tim McKyer, who he played golf with. a couple
last week. Yeah, he played last week. Tim always got something to say. Always.
He was funny. He was hilarious.
Tim had 2 boys, and they came to visit me, and they came. I told Tim to spend the night at the house, right? So Tim 2 boys said, "Man, Dad, we got some nice basketball pad." And then my wife came right around the corner. So what you say? It was so fun. They thought I lived there by myself. It was funny.
Oh my goodness, he was a piece of work at that.
Oh yeah, Tim was a piece of work.
But that, like you said, there was some characters in the NFL. But everybody had nicknames back then. I always said.
Yeah,
people would get in a bad mood if you call them by a nickname.
Oh yeah. Can
you imagine calling somebody Dirt Winston, Elvis Toast Patterson?
He been calling me. Elvis been calling me too. Toast.
Yeah.
He live in Kansas City. Elvis Patterson.
Really?
Yeah, I need to get him. I'm gonna have to get Elvis on the show.
Yeah. He was from Yates, Houston Yates.
Yeah, he's from Houston.
He was Dexter Manley.
Yeah, sure lives. I talked to Gary Reason last week. I mean, so every now and then I left a message. I did leave a message for Harry Carson. I'm trying to get Harry Carson on the show. Yeah. So trying to get Harry on the show. So
when Elvis, he was the highest at one time. He was the highest paid special teams player in the NFL.
Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl on special teams.
Yeah, and we asked him why they call him Toast, and we knew the answer because he got toasted by the wide receiver. He said,
I want to see if I can get Elvis to come on the show. He called me last week.
Yeah, he said because I was the toast of the town.
He changed it to something else. Toasted. We used to toast his butt in practice.
I know, Elvis Patterson.
Number 43.
Number 43. But he found out he was a really good special teams. And
he made a living.
He was really good.
He would run down through the
oh my goodness. He breaks
kickoff and the punt team.
People out there don't realize that, like you said, there was some guys that were characters, and he was one of them.
Oh yeah, he was. He was one of them.
And then this guy named Ike Hoke, and he was from Alcorn State.
Yeah. And
he was funny. I said Craig like that. And we were playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and they had this, if you Mark McMillan, the one that was on the cooking show.
Yeah.
And Mark was only about 5'8", 5'8.5". And Ike yells out there, he said, hey, tell that leprechaun to get back on the box. It's going to call him Lucky Charms. We were rolling.
That's crazy.
Stuff like that. I know Mark was mad. Stuff like that. Played at Alabama.
Man, we had some characters on the team, whatever. Just say anything sometimes.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun time, but it is what it is. Shoot, yep. We're running through this quick. We're running through it today quick.
Yeah, I was trying to see what else going on around the country. Well, the draft,
Draft, yeah.
Anything else? Anything exciting about the draft? Any movement?
They think now the bets are that Bryce Young will be the number 1 pick.
I'm telling you, Anthony Richardson is moving up.
Anthony Richardson ain't going.
Man, they got him going in the top 10.
He won't be in the top 10.
Okay. We're going to see.
Those
they got him going to the Colts.
Yeah. They said the only sure bet is Bryce Young, and I know he's undersized, and there's no quarterback that size.
I would take CJ before I take Bryce Young.
But now they're saying that CJ may be hard to coach. Stroud. I'm just telling you.
Anthony Richardson, the player that I like, that's got all the hidden qualities, and what I'm looking for the player will be Anthony Richardson.
What about the kid from Tennessee? He's for Herndon.
Yeah,
He's pretty good. Or the kid from
he
UCLA.
is better than Anthony Richardson. I'm telling you.
You're looking at physical ability.
No, I'm looking at 5 years from now.
5 years
I'm
from
looking
now,
at the Mahomes. I'm looking at the hidden jewel.
he's not Mahomes.
All right, I'm telling
Did you ever watch Mahomes in college?
you. I'm telling you.
Mahomes beat out Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield won a Heisman Trophy.
Baker Mayfield can't run like Anthony Richardson. I'm telling you that now.
That's all he can. He has to do more than being able to run, and he's throwing balls against air. He's not doing it, and he wasn't very successful in Florida. There are guys with.
He didn't have no receivers in Florida.
Oh my goodness, Jamarcus Russell won.
Hey,
he won a national championship.
Okay.
He still couldn't make it in there.
Okay.
Tim Tebow, another Florida guy.
Jamarcus Russell went to LSU.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is, I'm telling you, in the next year or two, this guy gonna be able to get in the right format for his team and mentoring. If he give it the right coach, I'm telling you, this guy will be burning it up.
There's a lot of intangibles to being a great quarterback. There are a lot of intangibles. And most of those quarterbacks play for an extended period of time. Not all. Joe Burrows transferred from Ohio State to LSU. Yep. But they have that it factor.
I think you got to have that student factor, that brain wave working as well.
And that's what I'm saying. I think Richardson is probably one of the best athletes in there, but does he have that it factor?
Oh yeah, I saw him up close.
You saw him up close, but have you watch Florida games? He didn't have that it factor.
I saw him up close during the interview with the 49ers. You know how they put you on the blackboard, and he did well. I was impressed. I guess that's kind of why I was impressed with it, because I saw that.
I'd be scared as me. Maybe you're right, but I'd be scared to take him high. I would take the kid from TCU before I take him.
I don't know. I just think that they overlooking Steve Mo, the Coach Mo, that played, he coached 49ers. He had him in the interview room with him.
Martucci.
Yeah, he had him in the interview room, and now he was impressed with him. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because he ain't got to draft him. That's why he's impressed. Because people lose their jobs over that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I'd be scared. I agree with you. The guy is a phenomenal athlete. But there's been a lot of great athletes that haven't been able to play in the NFL. It's a different beast there. And I'm not saying he'll be one, but Patrick Mahomes was a phenom in college.
That's true. I'm not saying he wasn't, but I'm just saying he kind of reminded me of some things that I think they're gonna be exciting. I'm gonna
take a sure thing myself.
You gonna take a sure thing?
Sure thing, and maybe they won't have the upside of a Richardson, but they'll be consistent on every time they walk in the building.
He got some Lamar Jackson in him and Patrick Mahomes in him. That's what I think.
And I could agree with you, but does he have that it factor? Can he lead? Can he think on the? Because there's going to be people who are giving him different looks and everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
those little things.
Yeah.
And you're right, because Lamar Jackson could do that.
Well, what I'm saying, he been to me, just looking at the news and how they've been rating these players, he have been the most improved player and been a surprise player. I put it out. He been a surprise player.
Well, we'll see, because we got it coming up in the next week, a couple weeks. But we're getting to the end of the show.
Yeah,
we're getting there, and we're going to be watching Anthony Richardson and seeing which way he goes and where he's drafted at. We got 2 more weeks to the draft. But as always, it's been a pleasure. And, let's do it again next week.
Hump day, baby. Let's go. Let's go get it.
Let's go. All right, Byron.